Good morning. Okay, so helping you out with number 4 from yesterday. The big part with yesterday is making that choice. Do you want to factor or do you want to use quadratic formula? So I'm going to go ahead and solve both of these quadratic equations for the x-intercepts, one by factoring, one by quadratic formula. All right, so factoring, we're going to go ahead. There's no GCF. I can't divide 7 by 2 and I can't divide 15 by 2. So I'm going to go ahead and make my box and set up my box and diamond for factoring. I have 2x squared negative 15. I need to multiply to a negative 30x squared and add to a negative 7x. Okay, what multiplies to 30? I have 5 and 6. That's not going to get me to 7. I have 15 and 2. That's not going to get me to 7. 10 and 3. There we go. 10 and 3 can get me to a negative 7. I need a negative 10 and a positive 3. So that multiplies to a negative 30, but adds to a negative 7. Fill that in. Either one can go in either spot. Okay, let's factor out. This is where I usually start. I can divide both of these by 2 and by x. So therefore that has to be an x. Finishing up the puzzle, this would have to be a negative 3. And to make this a negative 10 would have to be a negative 5. So now in factored form, 0 equals x minus 5 and 2x minus 3. To solve for the x-intercepts, I'm going to set each factor equal to 0. So this becomes x equals positive 5. Here a little bit more work. I have to add the 3 and then divide by 2. So x equals a positive 1.5. So my x-intercepts are 5, 0 and 1.5, 0. Okay, so those are our solutions by factoring. Let's do the same problem by quadratic formula. The quadratic formula is negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. My a equals 2, my b equals negative 7, my c equals negative 15. I'm going to be very careful and substitute those in for each value. So I'm going to have my negative parenthesis negative 7 plus or minus square root of negative 7 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 15 all over 2 times 2. All right. Finishing up, simplifying, this negative makes it a positive 7 plus or minus the square root of negative 7 squared is 49. And then my negative 4 is 8. And then 8 times 15, oh my goodness, my brain is not working this morning, is 120. So we're going to have plus 120 all over 4 because 2 times 2. Then we have 7 plus or minus the square root of 169 all over 4. Remember, this is what x equals. Sorry, I was forgetting that. I can split it. Oh, first, this is nice. The square root of 169 is 13. So I have x equals 7 plus or minus 13 over 4. And now I can split it. X equals 7 plus 13 over 4. X equals 7 minus 13 over 4. Okay. Finishing up here then. Okay, I am realizing I made a mistake. This is a positive 3. This is a positive 3. This is a positive 3. I'm so sorry about that. So this is a positive 3. So I would have to subtract this, right, which would make this a negative 1.5. Totally my bad. Sorry for not catching that sooner. Finishing solving over here, I get x equals 20 over 4. So x equals 5. Yay, that matches. So one x-intercept is 5, 0. Okay. Then here I get 7 minus 13 is negative 6 over 4. So then x equals negative 1.5. Same as over here once I realized my mistake. I'm like, wait, that's a positive 3. That has to be a positive 3. Okay? And then finishing up, this would be negative 1.5, 0. So we see that we get the same x-intercepts. Factoring in this case was way faster than doing the whole quadratic formula. So it's just a good rule of thumb to try factoring if you feel confident, get there a little quicker. Or quadratic formula works every single time. Sometimes you might factor and then get stuck. okay, if it's not factorable. So keep me posted. Let me know what questions you have. Thanks.